there is certainly a truth to the fact that, the extremist elements did take over, and, the kind of violence, arsonist we saw in terms of, attacking the government machinery, government building structures. Yes, certainly. But the problem right now is, and the recent statement I've just, received, we've found on the social media, the Prime Minister is completely accusing the Chhatro Shibir and the other extremist groups for this movement. That's not the fact. And just now, as what Badrul Bhai said, that the genesis was the student, that they were doing a peaceful protest. Then, of course, the trigger came with Obaidul Qadir's statement, and of course, then we know that Prime Minister Hasina also in a press conference referred to them as Razakars, which, as we know, is a very derogatory term in Bangladeshi context. But unfortunately, and coming back to your question here, right now the society is being divided, the polity is being divided between the freedom fighters and their families and the Razakars. That's not Bangladesh. That is the problem. So you're being in denial, right? There are, and we've argued this many times over. There's a third generation. I mean, why are you constantly, using the benchmark of freedom fighters? The world has moved on, so has the youth. And right now, and I've seen a couple of MP statements, Bangladeshi Awami League statements right now, they've just appeared in public domain, where they're constantly saying that, we are not going to allow the Razakars to take better of us. But that's another story. But what about the actual grievances that the youth and the students have? And this, while they were holding peaceful protests, let's not forget the fact that they have a lot of, issues which are building up. And the January election, of course, is one of the cases. But the fact that Bangladesh has one of the highest unemployment problem just now, the food inflation is at its worst. The kind
We'll
of
get to the economy in a minute. If I can go back to the Razakars, the comment about the Razakars.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is that that comment that Sheikh Hasina made, does it not? Is there not a body of people who are still against the freedom movement? I mean, Khaleda Zia's party, the BNP, has been banned. The Jamaat-e-Islami has also been banned for its not national, but I suppose anti-Hasina protests. Mr. Ahsan, what do you have to say? I mean, are these still? Is it relevant? This comment about Razakars, is it really the sort of the match that lit the fire? Or wasn't the overreaction of the army and the rangers who shot at these innocent, unarmed people, really, unarmed protesters? What do you think was the match that lit the fire?
I would say the overreaction came from the government, as Dr. Sreeradha Datta pointed to the Prime Minister's statement at a press conference on a return from a China visit, and then of course,
that's right.
And passions were inflamed by the Minister for Roads and Bridges, and who's a person who's also General Secretary of the ruling Awami League, Obaidul Qadir. And let me make a little correction. The BNP it has not been banned. It's still an operative political party. As for the Jamaat, it has been deregistered as a political party, but not banned, so it can't take part in elections. But yes, this question of Razakars. Now, see, the term Razakar has become a very pejorative term in Bangladesh. It has been there since 1971, because in 1971 we had these local collaborators of the Pakistan Army who called themselves Razakar. The word Razakar in Urdu, it means volunteer. See, it's a good word. But then in our context, it has become a very bad word. And anyone who challenges or who questions the war of liberation, the death of our people in the war, they're Razakars. I mean, I'm talking 1971. So after the war,
in fact, Sheikh Hasina's comment was, if not the grandchildren of the freedom fighters, then who must get quota benefits? The grandchildren of the Razakars. That's apparently the one.
Yes.
Overnight, the slogans began to target her, calling her Hasina autocrat.
Yes, but then you see, these children, these students who have been demanding quota reforms, see, one simply can't call them Razakar, because 3 or 4 generations have gone by. So to denigrate somebody as a Razakar only because you don't subscribe to somebody's view. That is, I think that's untenable. So this dichotomy should not be there anymore. So we have this problem of Razakars and non-Razakars. And if somebody happens to, let's say, to say something good about the BNP or about the opposition, to term that person as a Razakar, that's downright humiliating and insulting.
That's
That
very
needs to
interesting.